Today we're uncovering one of the most famous ancient cities in the world, inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List for its exceptional cultural value. This horse was used as a trick to enter the city of Troy during the Trojan War, immortalized by Homer in his massively influential epics, the Iliad and the Odyssey. This one, of course, is just a replica, though. While the 10-year war detailed by Homer was certainly fascinating for its romantic aspects, the real reason for the war was that the Akkadians wanted to access the rich lands of Anatolia. And Troy, with its strategic location, was their gateway in. The ancient city of Troy remained a mythical place until 150 years ago, when archaeologists discovered what they believed to be the very location that Homer spoke about. Since then, excavations have revealed more and more clues connecting the poems to this ancient city. In the Iliad, Homer describes the strong walls of Troy, so strong that they survived a 10-year siege, resulting in the use of the Trojan horse to enter the city. In fact, these fortification walls were so strong that they very well may be the walls we see here today, displaying extraordinary craftsmanship. According to mythology, the strength of the walls comes from their builders, the gods Poseidon and Apollo. The scenery from here is so beautiful, but it's even more impressive if you consider the fact that the plain below us is where the Trojan War may have taken place. There are many legends surrounding Troy, so it's absolutely exhilarating to connect these myths with structures we see today. Let's start with the Temple of Athena, built around 300 BC. According to mythology, the world's first beauty contest took place in Troy between Aphrodite, Hera, and Athena. Paris was the judge, and the fact that he chose Aphrodite led to a series of events that started the epic Trojan War. The megaron we see today is the earliest example found in Anatolia. While it's a small detail, it must be an important one, since the Museum of Troy was planned with a megaron on the ground floor.
In Troy, there is 9 different cities, 9 different culture and different civilization. The oldest one is the Troy 1, is founded 3000 BC.
Wow.
And then we have Troy 2, 3, 4 is the last Troy city is Troy 9. The Roman time is destroyed 500 AD with 2 strong earthquakes. And that means we have here a cultural layer more than 2,500 years, nearly 3,000 years. Cultural occupation is, of course, one of the most important city of Troy. Is so-called the Troy 6 and 7 is connected from archaeologists with historical epic Trojan War.
Okay,
Yes.
happened in the 7th one.
Yes, most of the archaeologists who work in Troy from 19th century and try to find Homeric Troy, the city of the Trojan War. Now, we can go another part of Troy, and I can show to you where the Schliemann find the so-called Priam treasure.
Great, yeah. Let's go. Wow, look how wide this road is.
It's bigger than modern road.
Yeah.
It's a Troy 2 city gate.
Ah, that old?
Yes.
From 2.
Its date is 2500 BC, more than 4,500 years old. One of the richest city in Troy. And all of the treasure came from this Troy 2 and Troy 3. But one of the most important finds for the history of the archaeology, so-called Priam treasure, is very close to here, this wall. Is a Schliemann. He found 1873, so-called the treasure, and he smuggled in from Troy.
What kind of treasure? What was inside?
More than 8,000 pieces, gold, silver, and very interesting bronze and metals and so on.
Amazing.
And
but it's all gone now.
Yes, it was exhibited first in London and then Berlin. After Second World War was missed all the treasure, but we know the end of the Second World War, Russian soldiers take away the treasure as a spoil of war, and now exhibited in Pushkin Museum, also small parts in Hermitage.
Unfortunate, but it's also amazing to be in the spot where it was
it's
found.
an original spot.
I'm standing in the Odeon, where the sound of music and the crowd would echo centuries ago. The story of the Odeon isn't a mythical one. It's a real tale revealed by archaeologists. In 1993, a statue of the Roman Emperor Hadrian was discovered in the Odeon, dating back to the 2nd century AD. And now, let's go visit him in the award-winning Museum of Troy.
Aslında Troya Orta Çağ'da çok canlı bir şehir değildi. Fakat Troya'da olmak tüm imparatorlar için çok önemliydi.
This statue was built as a thank you to Hadrian for his contributions to the city. This is just another indicator of how important the city of Troy was in ancient times. The Polyskena sarcophagus is one of the oldest of its kind in Anatolia and tells the story of the sacrifice of Trojan King Priam's daughter. It's just such an amazing sarcophagus. Here we see Polyxena, who's being sacrificed by the son of Achilles. To the left, her friends are just watching in terror, ripping out their hair and beating their chests. And on the other side, we see her mother, who is also mourning the loss of her daughter.
Anne Hekabe hayattayken tüm çocuklarının ölümünü gördü. Kurumuş bir ağacın altında. Aslında bu da bize sonbahar aylarında yaşanmış olmalı Troya Savaşı.
Now that we've uncovered some of the stories of Troy, you can see why it was visited by Alexander the Great, Roman emperors Augustus and Hadrian, Ottoman Emperor Mehmet the Conqueror, and possibly even Atatürk. Up next, we'll be cooking an ancient recipe with local ingredients in an attempt to taste the spirit of Troy.